must be the greatest. I told the world, I thought the God ever gave. The best ever.
Welcome to the DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with co-host neighborhood hero Ryan Rios and Bad Chaz, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. This is episode 44, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, let him know what's on tap, brother.
Yeah, let's talk about the fight recap, man, where we had that awesome card with prospects to contenders to even the Kings, man. Just a great card. Man.
Great card, yeah, absolutely. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. Bad Chaz, let him know what else we're going to talk about, man.
Oh, we're going to talk about fight week, and that's going to talk about some of the fights that are coming up this Saturday, so stay tuned, you guys.
Absolutely. All right, guys, well, it's time to recap the fights that happened last weekend. And let's start off with amateur sensation, Curmel Moton. He put on a spectacular performance for the crowd that was left over in the Las Vegas T-Mobile Arena. Mm-hmm. He made his pro debut, and man, did he look great. He scored a first-round TKO over Ezequiel Flores, earning his first victory by KO. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, the kid, 17 years old, looked sensational, doing feints, working off the jab, the speed, man. Talk about it.
You know what? I wanted to watch that fight, man, and I couldn't find it, so I had to watch the highlights. Yeah. And I mean, man, that's all you needed to watch, man, because it was a quick, dude. And everything he did in there with the feints, just to the jabs, just speed and power, man, was just on point, man. And this kid's impressive, dude, and I can't wait to see what he does, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Bad Chaz and Floyd. He's under the mentorship of Floyd Mayweather in the Mayweather promotions, and I believe they wanted to host his first fight against the champion in the division, which is the 126 pound featherweight division. And boy, did we see the skills as to why, right?
Yeah. He definitely has a bag of tricks, you know what I mean, that you wouldn't expect from a fighter on his pro debut. Right. So, I mean, yeah, he definitely has the right management team around him. And, yeah, I just can't wait to see his next fight because he looks very skillful.
Yeah, definitely does. Congratulations, Curmel Moton, on your victory. All right, guys. Let's look at the fight that started or kicked off the pay-per-view card, and that is none other than Elijah Garcia scoring an impressive 8th round TKO over Armando Resendiz. Man, Elijah Garcia, again, action-packed fight. That's what he's been delivering, and boy, did he level up on this fight. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, how'd you see that performance, brother?
Yeah, man, he's just solid, dude. You know what I mean? He can take some shots, but at the same time, once he does, dude, he gives them right back, dude, but with more power, more speed, more accuracy, dude. So if you hit this guy, just plan on getting hit back, dude, because he's not gonna cower down to anybody, dude. He's gonna go after it, dude. And sometimes I don't like seeing him taking that punishment. But again, dude, that's how he's learning, dude. That's how he's getting better, and he's always improving, dude. But great fight, man. He comes from a great boxing family, dude, and man, he might have a shot to win a title in the next year or so, dude. I think he's that good, man.
Yeah, he looked very promising. Resendiz, a tough customer, Bad Chaz, coming off a win over Jarrett Hurd. So this was no easy task for Garcia, but like Neighborhood said, as soon as Resendiz would touch Garcia just came back, shut it down, right?
Yeah.
How'd you see that, man?
Oh, you know what? He had the pop. He had the power in that fight. You know, like you said, you can go in there and you can hit him and stuff, but he has a chin, and that was tested. And we know that he's not going to fall short in that category. But, man, whenever he responds well. And he responds with power, and he reminds his opponent why he's there, you know what I mean? And it's not just going to be an easy task. So I think that, anybody that goes to the ring with him, man, they're taking that risk with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Impressive victory. We're all looking forward to his next fight already. Yes, I think he's going to jump the spot in these next pay-per-view, cards. He's not going to be an opener. He's going to maybe be even a co-main event pretty soon, right?
Absolutely.
He definitely deserves it. So congratulations, Elijah Garcia. All right, guys. Next on that card, we saw Mario Barrios score an impressive 12-round unanimous decision over former welterweight champion Yordenis Ugas. Man, Bad Chaz, Mario Barrios, he has leveled up, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely, man. He looked great in there. He showed a tremendous jab. He showed patience. He showed he can kind of step backwards. He can kind of move around the ring and take you back to the center. And he just he did an outstanding performance against Ugas, you know. And I think that he kind of leveled up this fight to show that you know, hey, he's there for some of the bigger names, and I can't wait to see some of the matchmaking that's going to come for him in the future.
Yeah, well said. And this was, in my eyes, a do or die fight for Mario Barrios in order to advance his career. And this just goes to show, you know, all the fighters, this is why you take the fights. He fought Tank Davis. He fought Keith Thurman. Competitive in those fights, though he came up short. But guess what? He leveled up his skills enough for him to outclass really a former champion, Yordenis Ugas, swelling up his eye and just taking it to him and closed out really well, man. Knocking down Ugas in the last round and just, you know, setting no doubt as to who the victor was. How'd you see that, man?
Yeah, you know what? He looked great, man. But I like to, you know, say like Ugas is just a good fighter too, man.
Yeah,
It was impressive that he did that to Ugas. You know, Ugas beat some legends, man. And, you know, like you said, Mario Barrios came short. You know what I mean? But, man, he came in there with a purpose, dude. He came in there, like you said, with a great jab, dude. Established that early on and touched Ugas whenever he wanted. You know
I believe it was the second round, too.
Yeah,
he
when he
knocked it out
dropped him
with
with the
that jab.
Yeah.
I think my only complaint is I wish that would have been the co-main.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because that was a great performance.
Dude, it was, man. It was back and forth, and it was competitive, dude.
Yeah.
But Mario Barrios again showed that he didn't want to leave no doubt. He wanted to go in there, like you said, and it was a do or die. You know what I mean? And now he went from gatekeeper to, you know, prospect into contender, man.
Yeah.
And so, man, it was a great fight, dude. I'm glad I got to watch it. And man, I hope Mario Barrios gets a title shot because, man, dude, he's been a dog, dude. And like we were talking earlier, dude, like Mario Barrios fought the fights he needed to fight to get to that level and beat a competitor like Ugas because Ugas, dude, like we all know what he did to Pacquiao, dude. We all know what he did to Porter. Like,
and he never made any excuses.
Never.
Or anything. He just went in there and did his job. Yep.
So shout out to both guys, dude. Great fight. I thoroughly enjoyed that fight. And Mario Barrios, man, I hope you get a good, you know, shot at the title soon, man.
Yeah, well said, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. And speaking of the competitor in Yordenis Ugas, both showed up to fight. Both showed warrior's heart. And Yordenis Ugas, I believe he's maybe contemplating maybe retirement. He is 37 years old. He's a former champion. I mean, I don't think it would be a bad idea, but only he can make that decision. But my hat's off to Yordenis Ugas for, you know, sticking it all 12 rounds against a young, hungry, you know, lion as in Barrios, man. So that was impressive, man. But well said, guys. Congratulations, Mario Barrios, on your victory. All right, guys, let's talk about the co-main event, which was kind of interesting, right? We were kind of like, did we miss? We didn't know that this was actually going to be the co-main event, and that is the fight where Erickson Lubin scored a 12-round unanimous decision over the previously unbeaten and highly touted Jesus Ramos.
Right.
And well, guys, it was quite. If I'm honest, it was quite a snoozer of a fight. I kind of lost interest midway, man. But from what I do remember, I recall Jesus Ramos, you know, landing the more harder shots, I guess, the more eye-opening shots. But then after that, you know, it's kind of turned into a boxing match where Lubin was scraping and scratching his way back with a jab and, you know, using his boxing skills, you know, to kind of tone down the whole fight and kind of made Jesus Ramos go into cruise control where he lost the fight. You know, and he learned a hard lesson, man. To you know, you're in the co-main event of a Canelo card. You don't take your foot off the gas and you don't leave it to the judges, right? Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what'd you think about that?
No, I totally agree, man. And I was disappointed because, you know, I'm big on Ramos. I still am, you know. But man, he should have, like you said, put that foot on the gas, dude, and been impressive, dude. You're on the Canelo like undercard, dude. Like you're the co-main, bro. Be impressive, man. Get people to want to watch you. You know, you could be a main event soon. You know what I mean? And I felt like he didn't do that. You know, like I remember in the interview, he said he wanted to show a new dimension, and that was to, you know, kind of be patient. But that's not the time to be patient at the end of a fight. You know what I mean? You got to leave no doubt. You got to go in there for the kill, and you got to be impressive. You know what I mean? And honestly, I still think he won that fight. You know what I mean? I felt like it was like almost like not so much a robbery, but for the way they had it scored, man, it was just kind of a little bizarre.
It was off.
It was off. But again, I hope he learns from it, dude, and I hope he comes back stronger because he was a totally different fighter from what I know, and just wasn't very impressive, dude.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and ironically, was we were watching, we were bored, and I remember telling you guys, watch him give it to Lubin.
Yeah.
I was fully expecting, to hear Ramos as the victor,
Sarcastically,
yeah,
yeah.
sarcastically, and and then seconds later, and and the winner, Erickson, Lubin, all like,
Yeah.
what the hell? But like I said, I mean, it's not like he blasted Lubin,
Yeah.
each and every round. When you leave it to the judges to interpret each round, that's what you might
Yeah,
get,
that's a
right? You
chance
might
to
get
take,
this.
yeah.
This, where they see it as Lubin winning, the majority of the rounds. But did it surprise you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've watched some of Ramos's previous fights, so I think we kind of had a little more expectations of him, but I mean, I'm not going to be too much of a critic, and I know people, they learn most from their losses, what I mean? So I'm expecting him to kind of turn this around and go back in there, and redeem himself. So I think that, what happened this Saturday, it's unfortunate for Ramos, but you know what? Congratulations to Lubin, and hey, best of both of them in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said, guys. Congratulations, Erickson Lubin, on your victory. All right, guys, it's time to talk about the main event, which saw Saul Canelo Alvarez just totally outclass and earn a 12-round unanimous decision over Jermell Charlo. Well, guys, this was dubbed as undisputed versus undisputed, and instead we got undisputed versus highly questionable performance in Jermell Charlo, right? Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. To be honest, guys, and I was telling you guys, like, man, Jermell Charlo, I thought I expected a lot more from him because from his track record, he was a guy that I believe would leave it all in the ring and go out on his shield. But boy, he proved me wrong. He did the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Saul Canelo Alvarez was there in one of the best shapes I've ever seen him. He had that huge back. He looked like the fifth Ninja Turtle. That dude he was in shape and he was ready for the fight. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, what was your review of that fight, man?
You know what? I love what I seen from Canelo, and I hated what I seen from Charlo, dude.
Pretty much.
Because I thought Charlo was gonna make it a fight for the first half of the fight, and then with Canelo just doing all that road work and just going up to higher altitude, I felt like
Lake
he was
Tahoe,
gonna,
right?
I felt like he was gonna just, turn it up towards the end of the fight, dude. But man, Canelo had him from the beginning to the end, dude.
Yeah.
And it was just a little bit embarrassing, dude, because Charlo didn't go out there to win, dude. He went out there to survive, and that's not what you want to do in a big stage like that. And when you have that name undisputed and you get beat like that, it's not a good look. You know what I mean? So I heard he was already stripped, and Tim Tszyu
The WBO title
got moved up. So Jermell Charlo, Augie was there in his corner, and I was rooting you on too.
Yeah, shout
but
out to
hopefully
Augie,
he
man.
bounces back, man, and hopefully he gets Crawford, dude, and he can do something with Crawford because he didn't look what I thought he was, and he was a little disappointed, man.
Yeah,
I think everybody watched that fight.
Yeah,
that
he
was
performed so
disappointed.
badly that I think Crawford even said, "You know what? I'm not interested in that fight anymore." You know what I'm saying? Bad Chaz, Canelo Alvarez. Let's give him his flowers. He tends to put these good fighters. He tends to put their hands in their pockets, right, where they don't even want to fire or even throw a jab at Canelo. Man, I mean, is it the power that they're feeling? Is it Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and just position himself, to where they have to be defending themselves? How do you see that, man?
How, you know what? Just watching that fight, watching all of Canelo's fights, it's not so much the volume that he possesses.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
if you listen to that fight and you watch
Yeah.
the punches that landed, I didn't hear the punches that were landed by Charlo.
Yeah, he already threw
they
in.
were
Yeah.
taps. You actually heard the thud and the slap coming from Alvarez, and
True.
and that was the most impressive thing. And just I guess what he's doing now, going up in that higher elevation, it showed, his improvement within stamina, in the later rounds. We've kind of seen Canelo, in his previous, maybe last three fights where it's kind of like you think he's slowing
Dwindled.
down, but hey,
Yeah.
he just showed this fight that he's not slowing down and he's here to remain.
Yeah.
And I think that was the most impressive thing that
Yeah,
we've
he
seen
even
from
stood
Canelo.
up in between each round, right? He never sat down.
Yeah, so I think that anybody gets in the ring with him, they're going to have trouble. You know what I mean? And he's always going to be prepared and he stays ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the power was definitely the game changer in that fight, and Charlo just couldn't tolerate it. He couldn't back him up. Canelo kept taking it to him. So whoever's going to fight him, they're going to have to push him backwards.
Exactly. Right. Well said. Yeah. Canelo in great shape. That's what I took from it. He was in great shape. He was able to just control each and every second of each of it, every round, knocking down Charlo with a beautiful looping right hand that caught him in the temple in the 7th round. That was just beautiful, changing his punches up, hitting the shoulders, still attacking, everywhere in the body. And so Charlo was just in survival mode. What can I say? Neighborhood hero and real Saul Canelo Alvarez. He makes his 3rd defense of the undisputed title, which is nobody has done in the 4-belt era. So congratulations to Canelo on that. Where does he go from here, Neighborhood hero and reels? He has potentially 4 undefeated fighters that he could face. He could face David Benavidez, who's in his division. He could face Terrence Crawford in a super fight. He's also undefeated. He could also fight the brother of Jermell. But by the way, I think he kind of erased both Charlos with this victory. I don't think nobody soon wants to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a 4th option, the rematch with Bivol. All those guys are undefeated guys and viable fights. I like the fight with David Benavidez next, Cinco de Mayo. That just totally makes sense. How do you see that going on, man? In my opinion, that has to happen, bro.
Yeah. You know what? That's when you said David Benavidez, I already was like, yeah, that's who I want.
Yeah.
And I think if he were to take that fight, it says a lot just to take that fight.
Yeah.
And I say if he beats Benavidez, man, go for Bivol. You know what I mean? And
what a streak that would be, right? If you
that would be
Bivol,
amazing.
I mean, beat Benavidez and then Bivol.
And then go for Bivol. That would be ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
But
man.
I'm saying if he were to beat Benavidez,
right?
Like I think he's ready for Bivol. You know what I mean? And that would just, everybody would love that fight, dude. That'd be a mega fight, Cinco de Mayo, like you said, dude. Like, what better can you ask for? And I think that Benavidez is due for a big fight like that. Like he's already had Plant, Charlo, like, like what are you waiting for?
Yeah, they're in the same division as well.
Yeah,
Nobody has to move around. You know what I mean?
Right. There's no jump in weight classes or that could become an excuse. Bad Chaz, if he puts David Benavidez's hands in his pockets, that'll impress the hell out of me. I mean, I want to see that, man, because when you really think about, like, Canelo Alvarez, like, why aren't they trying to hit him at least with a jab? Like you said, push him back or make him go backwards is like maybe the answer how you beat him. But a lot of these guys, they shell up, man, and it makes you think like, well, Canelo's a great fighter, but is he that great? I've never seen this kind of intimidation since Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, and they're already thinking that before the fight started.
Right.
You see him in the corner, and they're just like, damn, I'm actually going to fight this guy right now.
Right.
Like,
He fights Benavidez, and Benavidez is hesitant. I'll be like, oh my God.
Exactly.
There's something.
I don't know. I don't see
super
Benavidez.
special.
I don't see
Benavidez
Benavidez
I
acting
see-
that way.
yeah.
I think he goes in there with more confidence. I think he goes in there to do the job.
And it would be a great fight, man. Both of them have a great shot at winning. I mean, man, what do you think?
I think that Benavidez takes it to him. I think it's going to be a firefight. I think that if to be honest with you, I think that if that wasn't the case, the fight would have happened already. You know what I mean? That fight would have been made. So I think that that's probably one of the most dangerous fights that Canelo could probably take right now. That guy's young, he's hungry, he has a lot of power.
That's precisely why he needs to take it.
I mean, we see what, Canelo, how he worked with Bivol. I don't know if I want to see that necessarily again. I think I'd rather entertain him fighting Crawford or Benavidez. Right. And I mean, what makes the most numbers right now would probably be Crawford versus Canelo. But I think Benavidez deserves that fight over Crawford.
Yeah.
But I think that, I don't know, like maybe, hey, let's let Crawford take that fight with Canelo, and then maybe Benavidez takes a bigger payday and fights the winner. You know what I mean? And walks away with more tokens. I don't know.
Yeah. But what a run, man. Like we just mentioned earlier, if he were to beat Benavidez, avenge that loss to Bivol, and maybe even beat Crawford, dang, dude, that would be all-time great status.
One thing that I noticed, too, is that when Charlo was in the weigh-in with Canelo, dude, like, it was hard to see, like, who was the bigger man. But when they got in the ring, dude, Canelo was just solid, dude. Like you said, a ninja turtle, dude. Like there was a big difference in size, dude. Like I didn't see that. So like I'm curious to see like how big he is against Benavidez, dude, because Benavidez is a big dude, naturally a big dude. So like that was a big factor in that fight was the size, dude, because Canelo's size just overpowered Charlo, dude. Yeah, Charlo was taller, dude, but Canelo was just solid, man. So size, dude, there's weight classes for a reason.
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
And that's, I think, why Bivol was so impressive against Canelo. And if Bivol goes down to Canelo's weight, there you go with the rehydration stuff and we all know how that works now, dude. So it's very interesting, dude. So take on Benavidez, dude. See where you're at, and Bivol's that next step, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take on Benavidez. That's what we want. But congratulations to Saul Canelo Alvarez on your victory. All right, guys. Well, it's fight week. All right, guys. Well, it's fight week. We have fights from the DAZN. First one will be out of Manchester, England, and we have WBA featherweight champion Leigh Wood, 27-3 with 16 knockouts. He will take on fellow countryman Josh Warrington, 31-2 with 1 draw, 8 KOs over 12 rounds, guys. This is like I said, a battle of 2 countrymen. It's a nice clash. Leigh Wood, coming off his victory over Lara, recapturing that belt. Josh Warrington, he wants that belt, so it's going to be a nice little scrap. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, I'm a big fan of Leigh Wood, man. Yeah, just the way he comes back from losses and just a cool, humble warrior, right? Man, how do you see this fight going down, man?
You know what? Just right now, dude, a little confused because I don't feel like Warrington, deserves that fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right,
I think Leigh Wood, if anything, should go for the trilogy or fight maybe a bigger name. But because Warrington, I mean, he wasn't very impressive to some of the.
I think it's more like the countrymen, both. They're both
it's
from
possible,
England,
but
I believe.
honestly, if in my opinion, I think it's a tune-up fight, dude, and I think Leigh Wood should take care of him, dude. I don't think it's gonna be a very competitive fight. Leigh Wood should take care of him, within, 10 rounds, dude. You know what I mean?
Right,
so to me, it's just a tune-up fight, dude. I want to see Leigh Wood go back at Lara and hopefully, get that trilogy, man.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. Bad Chaz, Josh Warrington, I think in my eyes, has an uphill battle, KOs.
Absolutely.
He's lost to the likes of Venado Lopez, who's another fellow champion at 126. I mean, what do you expect, man?
Like you said, I don't think he has the validation to fight this fight, but I think that it sold tickets in their region.
Right.
I don't think it would sell tickets here. It wouldn't fill up the stadium. I think that's where it made sense, back home. But I think Leigh Wood goes in there and kind of takes care of business. He's been pretty active. You know what I mean? He's taken loss. He kind of knows what he needs to do to correct himself, and he kind of came back to redeem himself. So I think that he kind of goes in there with more experience and just gets a little tune up. And just kind of shows everybody that, hey, I'm ready for that other fight with the bigger name.
Exactly. We just hope it's a good scrap, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice early fight.
Early fight. This is out of Manchester, England, so it'll be early here in the States. But don't miss Leigh Wood versus Josh Warrington. All right, guys, and later on that Saturday from Las Vegas via DAZN, we have the return of Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. He will take on former light heavyweight champion Joe Smith Jr. in a 12-round bout. This is Zurdo Ramirez's cruiserweight debut. He's moving up in weight. Both of them coming off of losses, guys. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, Zurdo Ramirez, he's trying to bounce back from that loss to Bivol. He's taking on Joe Smith, who is bouncing back from the loss to Beterbiev, which was quite a devastating loss. How do you see this fight going, man?
Oh, man, it's interesting because I think it's like a 50-50 fight. We don't know what we're getting with both guys,
right,
you know what I mean? And Smith actually looked a lot better against Bivol than Zurdo did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you're
so
right.
it's hard to say. I just want to see a good scrap, dude. And obviously I'm going for the lefty, you know what I mean? So hopefully it's just a good fight, dude. And you know what I mean? Zurdo wins and he goes up to fight maybe a bigger name too, dude, because he's ready for it too.
Well, let's talk about that. He's fighting cruiserweight division, which I believe is a 200-pound limit. Zurdo Ramirez had trouble making light heavyweight. He goes up to cruiserweight. How do you think it might affect his overall boxing skills, Bad Chaz? Maybe even his speed.
Yeah, that's a good question. We don't know how it's going to translate with the added weight. If he's going to carry in his power, or if he's going to carry in that speed or mobility, in the ring. We know Joe Smith. He's going to create a level of opposition he has with some of his other opponents, and he has some of the fundamentals down. He has a good jab. So I don't think Zurdo needs to go in there and think that he's going to have an easy task, and I think he needs to kind of go in there with a good game plan and definitely just hope that, his corner kind of gives him the right instructions and guide him through this fight so that he doesn't, come off of another loss.
Yeah, right. I think he just needs to take control of this fight, show Joe Smith that he's the one in control, he's the boss. Don't give Smith any idea that, hey, you're in this fight. You know, don't be lackadaisical. Kind of do what Better Beef did, right? He just swarmed Smith
Yeah.
But you know, Better Beef's a monster, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But still, you know, Zurdo is big enough to you know, and powerful
his
enough,
will, yeah.
to impose his will, exactly,
Yeah.
brother. So
Don't show any respect.
exactly, guys. Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting fight. We both want to see what both fighters have left, you know, and hopefully it should be an exciting while it lasts, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, guys. So do not miss Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez versus Joe Smith Jr. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our podcast, guys. Well, I'm pretty excited, guys. We got a package in the mail. It's right here, and it's from none other than Daniel Cortez out of San Antonio, Texas.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, brother. We're going to open this live here. Let's see what he sent us, man. This is great. All right, let's see here. Oh. All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Dope, bro.
Oh, dope, man.
Nice, Daniel.
Let's see
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you, Daniel. Large. This is for Bad Chaz.
Thank you,
You're
Daniel.
the large.
Family.
Thanks,
Hey,
bro.
let's show this off, guys. We got Sal here for another neighborhood hero, Ryan Rios, and my size will be a secret. Hey, man, check it out, guys. Oh, these are dope as hell.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank
Team
you, Cortez,
Cortez.
family. Team Cortez all the way.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Daniel.
Hey, shout out to Daniel Cortez, Team Cortez, guys. Thank you, guys. We respect you guys. Everybody from San Antonio, thank you guys for the love. We greatly appreciate you guys, man. And you know, we don't take gifts like this lightly, man.
Absolutely
So
not,
thank you
man.
so much, man. This is
Thank you,
awesome.
guys.
Bro, that means a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh man, this is awesome. Those nice shirts, man.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah,
Next
man.
episode for sure.
Yeah, right. Awesome, man. Neighborhood hero Ryan Reels. Any shout outs, man?
Yeah, thank you, Cortez family. Thank you for the shirts, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys. Thanks, Daniel, for coming on the show, man. Hope to get to chat with you soon. Shout out to Augie. He worked, you know, Charlo's corner. He was at
Yeah.
that big Canelo fight, man. Dope. You know, every time I you know, reach out to him, he always gets back to me, dude. Whether it's just a chat or tell me what he's doing next, he's just always there for me, dude. I really appreciate that. And also Bad Boy Visuals, he was at the event. He was one of the
Yeah.
photographers there at Ramos's fight, dude. And
Yeah.
another cool cat. Introduced us to a lot of cool cats in San Antonio, dude. So thank you, Bad Boy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bad Chaz, any shout outs you want to
Oh,
give,
man,
brother?
just want to say thank you. You know,
Yeah.
just super thankful, you know, like real blessed to be able to get a gift like this. And yeah, thanks, Daniel. Thanks. And shout out to Augie. That was badass to watch you guys work the corner, man. I'm real happy for you. And then shout out to Rob and Liam, our camera guys. And yeah, you guys are like family, man. You guys make it real special just having all the support and always here for us,
Right,
man.
right.
Exactly, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Everybody that tunes in, we greatly appreciate you guys. All right, guys. Well, with that said, I am Coach D, along with neighborhood hero Ryan Rios and Bad Chaz. And we're out, guys.